Yes, oh, come on, shorty, let's go. Girl, I see you over there in the corner.
Hi, I'm Karol with the K, and I understand there are some of you that want to learn how to make these potholders. Now, these potholders are not made with a synthetic material that they used to be made when we were kids, and when you put a hot plate on it, it would melt. These are made with cotton, and they're really strong and sturdy. And we are now showing you that these aren't the 7-inch ones that we used to make as kids. These are 10-inch, so it makes a nice size potholder or a trivet. Now, as we start to make these, as you see, I have my first layer down here, and I will show you as I go along. But on here, I have one that I started just to give you an idea. When you're putting this on your hoops, your little loop hooper here, you see it doesn't want to reach. So you really got to stretch it to get it on there. And that means you've got to make sure it's down on these little ledges. And they got to stay on because they can pop off really easy if you aren't watching. Let me show you that again. That's like this, and this one has to pull. Now, there are some that you'll find that maybe you won't have to pull them, but you do want to make sure they're down on here, because when we start bringing the others and weaving them through, they can pop off so easy. Now, I've started, and what I use is a crochet hook, and I've got my loop now that I'm going across this way. And so I'm going to start at this bottom one. And I use the crochet hook like this. I do my first one, I bring it so it's underneath, and I take this, well, when you get it hooked, that is, and you bring it through like this. Now you see how I did that? And so now I want to make sure it's on that hoop, on that little loop there. Now I know I have to go over the top of this and under this one. So we're going to do it again. And you keep doing this all the way across. And you will find as you get to the end that it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. And when I'm doing this, I can watch TV, I can be doing all kinds of things when I'm doing this because let's face it, there's no concentration really needed unless you forget to put it under and over the way you should, which sometimes I take, and I've had it where I've had 2 of these I've put through instead of the one, like so. We don't want to do that. We want to do it this way. So here we go. I'm coming close to that end, and it's going to get a little bit tighter. And as you go, you just keep going, every other one. And you're going to notice when you come to the end, because you started over here, over the top of this one, this should be over the top of this one here at the very end. Does that make sense? Well, wait till you see. As I do this, now you see how tight it is. Now I've got to really pull it to get it onto this loop. There you go. And you see it is on the top. Now when I do the next one, I'm going to use another blue. And when I do the next one, I don't want to do the same thing and go underneath this. It'll pop that up. So we need to start underneath the first one here. And you're going to come like this, and you're going to hook it. You want to make sure that you hook it on here because I've known to forget, and I thought I'd have it hooked, and I get all the way over here, and it comes right off. So you've got to make sure that you've got it hooked. And you got to make sure you're going underneath. Now, this is sticking up, so you know that's got to be over the top. Or underneath, I should say. And here's the same thing. You keep going. You just keep going. And like I said, it's a no-brainer. And it's really a lot of fun if you really want to do something that's a lot of fun, something different, something that brings us back to when we used to sit around and do things together and have a lot of fun, even when the kids used to want to do it. I can remember my mom and dad sitting around and we would make potholders. And we made a lot of them because, like I said, at that time, they melted when you put something hot on them. But it was fun. It was something, and it was cheap, and it was so much fun. And it made you think. Now, remember when I said up here at the end, this one I went underneath? So this last one, I should go underneath, which I am going to. Then you know you've got it right. Okay? And then you want to take this, and you want to push this down. And you want to make sure that nothing's turned, and you're going to hold it. Now, the reason you want to make this like this is start off because you want to get these to start sticking in here so they're not going to come up. And that's an important thing. I have a problem I forgot to show you. Remember I said sometimes when you're doing this, you can skip? Well, I skipped one of these hooks. Now I've got to go back. I'm not taking all this out. All I'm going to do is take this like this and move it over. That's all I'm doing. You see how I did this? I pulled that off. Oop, and it went. You got to watch or it'll go flying across the room. No, not really. Now, this is here fine, but I made another mistake and I wanted to show you while I'm doing this. I got a couple of them here just to give you some leeway in learning how to do this the right way. Okay, if you could see how this is all turned right here, okay, that really isn't good. So what you want to do is you want to take your hook, and you're going to pull your hook a little bit like this, and you're going to start pulling this over like that. That's all you got to do, really. And so that way it straightens it out. Oh, look what I did. I've got 3 here. I didn't go through this right. Oh my goodness, so now I definitely have to take this out. So I guess what I'll do is just pull all this out. Gee willikums. And so this is supposed to go over the blue and under this light blue. Over the pink, under the light blue. But you see what I did? I went through this half here, and that's not good. So you want to make sure that everything is uniform and that you're doing them over, under. You're weaving through everything. And that way, everything will be even, it'll lay good, and you won't have any problems. But you want to make sure you get all your little edges, you got all of them covered. And you want to make sure that you go in, have 2 of these cords, like underneath like this one, 2 here, it'll be over the top of that. See, if you look at this right now, you see there's a loop here. Oh, I thought I pulled it off. Well, no, you're going to have to stop, and you're going to have to take your time and pull this through, because you want to make sure that everything is flat when you're working here. So, and then you also need to get your crochet hook you just dropped. Now, as you can see, that's where my problem was. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull all my yarn and my loopers. I'm going to pull all of them down and make it nice and tight. And as you can see, I'm working at both ends. I did this because I personally like to come into the middle, and that way I can work it. Some people work all the way to the very end, and then you have problems down here by your hooks. I like to do it in the middle because it's strong. As you can see, it's like a drum. It isn't going to do anything here. So that would be my big suggestion to you. I'll show you how we work on taking these off. Then we're going to be using rubber bands, and we're going to rubber band this edge, all 4 of them, to start off. And the reason of that is so that things don't go flying off. And if this all comes off of here, oh, what a mess, trying to get everything back on. We've got rubber bands on here. But I made sure that rubber band was the last one I put on, because this is where I'm first going to start. And the reason I started here is on each end of this, It's the one that's underneath this blue one coming across this way. And that means that's going to be well and secured. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking my crochet hook, going down into this one, bringing this up, maybe, bringing it up like that, and pulling it through. Now, I found another little secret is you see this one that's going across this way. If you push this down every so often, it will help you to get into the next loop. And that way you're not going to lose your loops. And it's easier to put the crochet hook in. And you see, all I'm doing is lifting it off those little things that they got there. Those gitchy-goos, whatever you want to call them. Thingamajigs. Anyways, as you go along, you're going to keep going like this. And you're going to come all the way around, which is, it's a little time consuming. It's not something that you can, it's not like a microwave oven that you can just, it's instantaneous. And I'm almost to this end. So, the thing of it is, this is tight, very tight. So you want to make sure you keep it tight at all times. So when I come to this end, and I'm going to turn the corner, I'm going to show you another trick. The reason I do it this way is with all the rubber bands, it's keeping them down so they're not going to go flying off the hoop and you losing the pot holder. So you're going to do this, and then I'm going to come into the last one. It's blue, light blue, and then I'm going to get a dark blue. And I'm going to be right here at the end. You see where I'm going. Now, I don't want to take the rubber band with me, but I do want to take this off. So I'm going to go like this. Now, I'm going to take this rubber band off. Like that. And then I'm going to take my crochet hook. I'm going to put it underneath that rubber band. See how that is? Now I'm ready to go on this side. Now I'm going to start it because I want to show you. I got to get in this first one, and it can be a doozy at times. So you got to take your time and make sure you get it. And once you get it, it's not so bad. Now, I go for about 2 or 3 stitches as I go along here. Then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to show you what you need to do next. They have this hoop, this wire that they also give you, which you can work through and bring all your pieces through. But I'll be honest with you, I don't like it because for me it's too cumbersome. But right now I just want to hold that loop. That's all I want to do. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece, I'm going to take a rubber band, and I'm going to go down in here and come up someplace in here. There we go. And it makes no difference where you come up. You're going to get this rubber band and you're going to try to get it through here. Almost lost it. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to hold on to this end, and I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to pull. Oh, well, maybe that rubber band was too small. So we need a large, long one. There we go. You see how this one is. Let's take this one. Got to get the right size, because it's the reason I'm doing this is it's going to give pressure, and it's going to keep all this from flying off the hoop. There we go. Lot better. Now this will keep it. See how that is? I can take this thing here. I can go back and start going all the way around again. And I don't have to worry about it coming off. Remember I said to keep these down. It's real close. That sometimes makes them want to come off the hoop. So you want to keep that one last row that's going like this. You want to keep it down as much as you can. And then you're just going to come up, pull it through, go down under in between it, pull it up, pull it through, go down under. Make sure that that piece that's going across is always underneath here. You see where it is? It's right here, all along here. So you want to keep it down. It's important because then you can start losing them real easy. So, believe me, I've had a couple of them that I didn't do it right. I was in a big hurry, and I ended up losing the whole thing. I had to do it over. So, it's not that hard. I normally do it on my lap, but I'm doing it like this so you guys can see what it's like. And that's really all there is to it. And the reason I have this, when I come to this last one, it's going to hold it good and tight. And that's what you need. Okay? I hope you have fun making this. And there's all kinds of colors. Look at all these colors. I mean, we have loads of colors. And you can take and choose from anything that we have. And what a nice gift to give to friends, especially Christmas or birthdays or Thanksgiving. But while I'm at it, I wanted to show you some of these other ones that we have made. And they're really a lot, like I said, nobody had a certain pattern that they wanted to do. They just made up their own as they went along. And if you didn't feel comfortable with that, in your loop bag, your box, they have this potholder design book so that you can take and make different potholders with it. Different designs, 3 colors, 4 colors, multicolors. But you're using the Pro. The Pro is the 10-inch. So the 10-inch is a little, you have more loops you have that you have to put on. And so you see all the different things that you can do. But you can make your own up. Oh, and the neat thing about this is you can make purses with them. Or you could even put them together and make like a rug. Or you can even make a little table topper. Or you can even take and put them for a little trivet and make 2 or 3 of them together. So anything is possible with this. And it's, like I said, in the meantime, it's a lot of fun. Glad you joined us for this little potholder party. Thank you. Bye.